Hey guys, KingBar06 here and back with another video. In this one I will be drawing thumbnail 13 of the 3 thumbnails that I discussed drawing in the thumbnail drawing session 1 speed paint, which is the video before the Aqua and Sardoro speed paint from last week. The person I chose for this thumbnail is Lalatina Dustiness from Konosuba. In this video I will be discussing my process, my hopes for the development of my art style, minor changes to how I do these commentaries, and extra stuff that I want to talk about that isn't long enough for its own section. Prior to making this piece and prior to the next speed paint, I have been spending quite a lot of time trying to change up how I draw in order to be faster and less stiff. As an artist, I find myself inspired by looking at the artwork of other people. Those artists inspire me to try out certain things within my own style, which is why I've been using references for multiple artists so that I can pull certain elements into my own style. This specific position and this kind of composition isn't anything extraordinary, which is why I'm not the biggest fan of this myself, but like the element speed paint, I do experiment with different lighting and I do something else that's quite unique. For those of you who are familiar with JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, you guys know there are multiple parts to the series. My favorite part is part 4, which is known as JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Diamond is Unbreakable. Within the part 4 series, one thing that stands out to me is 1, the coloring in the backgrounds has little to no soft edges when it comes to shading, and it emphasizes flat colors. It's basically cel shading, like what anime is for the most part, but it's a little bit different. The other part, which is the part that I focused on for this speed paint, is the fact that in part 4, the sky color isn't consistent. It changes depending on the mood within a given episode. A lot of times the sky color will be either yellow or pink. I've even seen green. I decided to use that for this piece. I used a yellow background to make the overall color scheme leaning toward the warmer side. I will continue to experiment further with my backgrounds until I find something that works for me. That's what it means to me to be an artist and to be a human as a whole. Constantly changing and constantly growing. Outside of that, I try my best to implement my references and improve my style within this drawing in comparison. To be honest, I don't see it. It still looks like my regular old style and nothing significant has changed, which is why I want to move on from this as soon as possible to get to my next artwork. As I briefly started discussing in the process section, I am currently on a journey to improve my art style and the way that my artwork looks. Each artist has their own way of doing things on the canvas in such a way that people who know them can recognize that it's them who made that piece. Obviously, I can't 100% copy someone else's style to the point where my own isn't recognizable. As any other artist does, I'll take what I like from certain artists and do my best to apply them to my own work. With that in mind, I've been binging videos from Sam Does Art. I like how he has a mostly painterly style, but he includes sketch lines. It's also mesmerizing to see how well he does all these random challenges that he has on his channel. My favorite one is the one where he splits his drawing into 4 sections and draws 4 styles. His style, realism, anime, and Disney. It really shows that he has a handle on being able to observe and replicate. At the end of the day, that's what art is. Taking what you observe and applying your own twist on that on a canvas. As Sam says, observation is an important aspect of art, if not the most important aspect. That's how you start doing art. You observe life and create what you observe, and then you learn to break the rules and do things in your own way, but keeping the fundamentals in mind. As well as Sam Does Art, I have been scrolling through Twitter and looking at the work from those whose styles are something that I find to be fantastic in its own right. I have my own personal list on Twitter called Inspiring Artworks that includes artists whose works I love to see. I even have a Google Drive folder called Drawing Practice/References that includes screenshots from anime and artworks from a variety of artists, as well as real-life images that I can scroll through to use as reference in my future works. Nowadays, I'm regularly looking at reference at minimum, even on days when I'm not actually drawing anything. By the end of the year, I hope there will be a profound change to my work. In fact, I may just do a redraw of something that I made this year so that I, along with you guys, can see what about my style has changed for better or for worse. As I discussed in the last video, my commentaries have been getting shorter, hence my videos have also been getting shorter. I'll be making a minor change which will add more commentary to my future videos, but I won't be filling it in with a bunch of random fluff as I promised that I wouldn't do. Each week I'll be having a section in which I discuss my thoughts on a certain character. For this week, I'm probably not going to have that. For this video, I would talk about Lalatina Dustiness forward, aka Darkness, but I don't have any deep thoughts about her in comparison to Hinata Hyuga or Hinata Uzumaki, for example, and I already talked about how I feel about Konosuba, so I feel that's a waste of time. I will warn everyone that I won't always be talking about the subject of my drawing. I might talk about someone completely unrelated to whatever series I'm drawing a character from. For example, I was discussing Hinata Hyuga in the last video despite her not being featured in the drawing whatsoever, though I have drawn her before and have a speed plan on the channel if you want to check that out. So please be sure to suggest any topics. Anyone who does will get a shout out in future videos when I talk about whatever topic someone mentions. This is just for me to go over random stuff in which the different topics aren't long enough for their own section. Firstly, I want to mention that besides thumbnail 13, I plan on releasing a video on the reference sheet for Charlotte Littlehorn, redesign of Reading Land, and I will create a new batch of thumbnail images. I also am considering doing ulti-specific thumbnails because there is a point in which I had a strong urge to draw her. I also may consider to show my respects to other One Piece characters with artworks of their own, such as Bellamy, Arco the Phoenix, Sanji, Zoro, Nami, Yamato, etc. If you guys are wondering why I'm redesigning Reading Blam, it's because I don't like the way that she looks. I want to revamp her and define her identity better. This also means I will be giving her a new name along with other original characters that I've created. To name a few that I've made, there's Niha Grinder, Ocelli X Falk, Taiku Shoho, and a few more. I don't know if I'll be redesigning all of them, but I do have some ideas for what I want to do to improve the design for Ocelli X Falk specifically. When I redesign one of them, and I'm satisfied with how they look, I will likely be doing more art challenges that involve them. For now, I will focus on what I can do to revamp them and improve myself as an artist. One more thing, I've been getting back into animation, so be sure to check my Discord to see what I've been working on. I may make a video in which I show off any animations that I've made. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, check out my Twitter and Discord, both are in the description. If you want to know what I'm currently doing or thinking about, those two places are the best places to go. I will see you guys next time.